Hello, Bricktician here, and today I got a new Lego history for you. And today I am taking a look at the Lego Snaps line. So this line was released between 1998 and 1999, and it was kind of an experiment for Lego. Just to kind of show you what Lego Snaps looks like, here's a picture of what it is. And when you first look at this, you're thinking that doesn't look like Lego at all. But you take a closer look, you can see Lego Technicals around um, these large beam pieces. And you have like, these purple connectors. A lot of people theorize that it's supposed to compete with Connects because they kind of work in a similar way to Connects, which I can't find a primary source on this, so take that with a grain of salt. It's just when you look at this online, this is what a lot of people compare it to. But for me, when I first saw it, I thought it looked like a early Technic set. But the thing is with Technic was around since 1984, over a decade prior to this. And Technic is actually still around to this day, so it's actually pretty fascinating that how Technic lasted, but the snaps did not. So, a lot of people will still kind of use these snap pieces, but mostly just kind of for like railroading bridges and things like that. Not really anything like when it comes to Lego mocking. There's not really demand for a lot of this stuff. So anyway, um, the first sets came out in 1998, and let's take a look at them. First off, here we have what's called the jet car. It had 27 pieces. It's set number 3501, and it had a couple of alternate builds. And one thing will warn you about going into this, I struggle trying to tell what some of these builds are supposed to be. So the main build here is like, okay, jet cars is supposed to be somewhat of a car looking thing. Looks pretty hollow, early Technic build. But then you have like a weird plane thing and kind of a larger scooter thing. I can't guess what they are. So next up here, though, we have the bi-wing, as it's called. It has 25 pieces. Has three different builds for a plane. Set number 3502. And yeah, it's just kind of okay. I kind of can see it, but I would have just rather normal Lego brick pieces, or you get the functionality of Technic. Next up here, we have Mini Sonic with 22 pieces. And it's like, okay, it's like a Sonic boat. Meanwhile, we got a rocket. And I have no clue to begin with what trying to come up with that far left thing is. So yeah, just a little. You kind of can see why this didn't last, especially with like kind of the other lines at the time. Next up here, we have the hook truck. It's like, yeah, it's a hook with a truck. You have some type of weird bird thing and I guess, a boat for the alternate builds. This had 30 pieces in it, so yeah, it's just kind of hard to talk about like what is this line exactly. Now this one never really got an official name; it's just kind of referred to as Polybag. It has 25 pieces in it, which is kind of weird because it's kind of a amount as like one of the full sets when it comes to this line. You have a lot of bigger pieces. So, and you just kind of had, okay, you have a car, you got a plane, a scooter, and I have no idea what that bottom one's supposed to be. So if you have any idea what any of these are supposed to be, or if I got anything wrong, leave me in the comment section below. So next up, um, we have 3591, the Tri Bike, and this had 29 pieces in it, and it's kind of neat because we got a kind of green colors with it. And this is one of the few we actually have Lego's instructions for. Um, the first one I showed you, the jet car, is the only other one from 1998 that actually has instructions for it. There's three more sets that come with that currently have instructions as PDFs on Lego's app and slash website. So we'll get to those when we get to those. But yeah, it's just yeah, like 29 pieces. Like that's a little bit more than the poly bag, but not like 10. So next up here we have the jet ski, It was also released in 1998, and I don't have a piece number for this. But you got kind of the jet ski, you got a little boat, plane type build, and then I'm guessing that last one's a pterodactyl. So yeah, but it's kind of interesting. Next up here, we have the Dino Jet, which I kind of think ties in with the other one because you kind of see like a dino build in the bottom right, and you got a submarine as another alternate build. This one had 80 pieces in it, and it's referred to as a shuttle. Um, so kind of a little bit different with the packaging. So I think this maybe had been like the second half release of the year, but I couldn't find any confirmation on that. That's just me speculating. Then here we got the hover sub with motor. This one had 126 pieces. This one actually had a motor in it and it had a couple of alternate builds. So you had kind of a dual propeller helicopter. Um, you have what looks to me like a duck, a crab looking thing, and a chainsaw is my last one. Those are my guess for what they're supposed to be. Pictures are pretty blurry, and it's kind of hard to tell with like all the open spaces. Like, I just want to look at that, like that middle right one is like, look at that. It's like, yeah, that's definitely a duck. I just don't have that with it. Like a lot of modern Technic stuff, that's a lot easier with. Next up here, we have what's called the Black Mobile. So a lot of black Znap pieces here. And so, this one had 142 pieces. Rebuilds are labeled as a scorpion, an airplane, or a helicopter. So I was like, okay. The thing is, like, for me, it's like, yeah, that's definitely what those are. And this is one of the few that actually has labels of what they are, and I can actually tell what they are. So ironic, isn't it? So next up, we have 3581 Formula Z car and storage box. So this one actually had like a plastic container it came in, but you couldn't get that from the box or the art box art here. It included 171 pieces, and this one actually we have a retail price for $20 or 1999 at the time. Of course, this is in the 90s, late 90s, so inflation and all that. Next up here, and last one for 1998, we have set number 3591 Heli Transport, or it's also been modeled as the Rota Beast. I think they may have put the Rota Beast in there just to try it because Bionicle at the time. Um, yes, one had 265 pieces, so the largest of the sets, and it could be rebuilt into a plane, a helicopter, kind of a landing vehicle, or what it's been labeled here as the Rota Beast. So let's get into the science fiction year of 1999. And here we have the aeroplane with 23 pieces and the alternate builds. Like, okay, the airplane to me looks like a helicopter with wings instead of propellers. And I have no idea where to begin with the other ones. Like, is that a sword with a weird out handle and a dinosaur for the other one? I have no idea what those other builds are. But this is kind of the last of the alternate builds we see. Um, because like they talk about transform. Okay, you can see what this next one transform, and you can have like alternate builds, but they're really kind of harder to see with this boxing. So this one is motorbike with 26 pieces. Um, yeah, what else can I say about it? Because it's just this 3506. I want to say it is what based off the box. But yeah, just like what are these other builds? You have some wheels hanging upside down, so on the other one, and then it's like weird bird looking thing on wheels for the other. So don't know what to tell you with what these are. This one you can actually tell a lot more what it is because it's the other artwork. It's 3520 forklift, even though it has the plane most prominent. However, Lego's instruction manual has the forklift most prominent, so interesting. There also the we haven't got to the other one yet. So with the instructions this year, so this one has 39 pieces, and yeah, I just think this is probably one of the most clear ones that we actually get because we actually got a kind of a motorbike, a forklift, and a plane. Then this one here is known as 3521 Racer. Um, it has 35 pieces. And it kind of like talked about like how it narrows toward, it's kind of narrowing towards the front with this one. I can't really see that with this. It has interesting wheels though. And you kind of see Technic beams in there. So like Technic did play a role into this, but yeah, it's just kind of a weird system, and I'm really kind of interested to see how Lego could have incorporated these into, I guess, licensed themes if they could, or things like that. Um, Next up here we have 3554 helicopter. Um, this one actually Lego does have instructions, but it's labeled as a mini constructor set. This one has 79 pieces, and they had a yellow and black helicopter. I couldn't find it looking at the app. Um, yeah, it does have alternate builds, but it's one of those things like it's even blurrier of an image, and I can't even tell what those alternate builds are even. So, um, yeah, the Road Reaper doesn't help either with that one, and neither the forklift. And so that's the end of our instructions. I was just double checking to see. This one here, we have 3555 Jeep, as it's been labeled. It had 262 pieces. This was a larger one. And this one I feel like is a lot easier to tell what it is. But man, you can see through that thing pretty well. And I don't like the windshield for that one. Next up is probably one of the more unique ones. It's the 3582 Ant. And this one was actually motorized. I'm assuming the motorized feature was it walking. You have some wheels to carry the back end of the thing, and I guess it just stood on those legs and just moved back and forth. It'd be kind of it, and I haven't seen that Lego motor before, but it's just like I'm kind of curious. Like, okay, how does that motor work? Like, this is the button, and you just have a wired controller to it. So it'll just be interesting to see if anybody actually has this built, but it would be extremely difficult to find. And we actually have one last build. This is actually an unreleased set, and actually it's unknown how many pieces it has with it. So that's it. Thank you all for watching. Tell me your thoughts on what you think of the Snap series in the comment section down below. Do you think Lego should have kept it around? Because I think it would be kind of interesting to see kind of an alternate universe where Lego actually this was successful and Lego actually hanged on to it. So you have the main brick system, you have the Technic system, and the Snap system. So if you actually knew about these before, let me know down in the comments below. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Goodbye.